I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. Couple minutes on the score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's Friday night on the British Basketball League YouTube channel, which means it's time for a double pump and not a double dribble. Tipping off in around 15 minutes is the league leaders, London Lions, at the Leicester Riders. But stay right here for the first matchup of the season between the Newcastle Eagles and the Manchester Giants. We should be in for a good one. The last 3 times these two have met, it's come down to just a few points. So keeping a keen eye is current Bristol Flyers captain Raphael Thomas-Edwards. He's alongside Joel Osborne.
Thanks, Jeanette. Yes, hello, welcome to Friday Night Hoops in the British Basketball League as the Newcastle Eagles take on the Manchester Giants live from the Virtue Motors Arena. Very warm welcome to you at home. Joel Osborne alongside Bristol Flyers captain Raphael Thomas-Edwards. And Raph, these are two teams that are in much need of a win in the British Basketball League. What kind of game are you expecting tonight?
It's going to be an absolute battle. Forget that they're 7th and 8th. That doesn't reflect the success that these teams can have. So I think the coaches in practice and they're telling them how important these games are, and it can start off, a completely different season for them.
Well, let's take a look at how the starting lineups are shaping up ahead of this one, starting with the Newcastle Eagles, and Larry Austin remains out with injury for them. It's Jordan Johnson and Ricky McGill in the backcourt. Devin Whitfield, Taj Green and Darius Defoe playing inside. And as we take a look at the starting 5 for the Manchester Giants tonight, Nick Lewis inserted into the starting lineup alongside Jalen Harris, Jamel Anderson, Nick Stampley and legend Robertin. Big 7'1" presence in the middle. Well, Raf, one player you've identified ahead of this one is Taj Green, playing against his former team, the Manchester Giants, for the very first time this season.
Yeah, as a player, playing against your old team is a revenge game, and Taj is such a tough cover. When I played against him, if I'm not watching him, it's the offensive rebound, defensive rebound, and it's a successful thing for them.
And looking at the other end of the court, one to watch tonight, Nick Lewis, back in the starting lineup, and Raf, this guy can really get hot in a hurry.
Yeah, if he gets hot, it's going to be very tough for Newcastle. So let's see how he does.
Great stuff. Well, we're all set for tip-off. It's Eagles v Giants, and it's coming up next.
Shot clock is off. Rideau needs to take his time here, don't go too soon. He drops it off to Wolf to get some points. Again, a hesitation. Oh, Pipkins goes up over the defense to hammer it home.
Faulkner putting on the pressure against Kaboza. Kaboza makes a beautiful pass, throws it up. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me? That might be the play of the season. Got to go back to the pass coming from Mason Faulkner. We might have just seen magic in the form of a Plymouth.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team, jumping off of buildings with the Thomas on the baseline. I'ma need the off-white. Last camera action, we ready to roll. All right, faces, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big time.
Welcome back to Friday Night Hoops on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. We're all set for tip-off, and here's a sight that could excite Manchester Giants fans. William Lee suited up, of course, back from injury. Raf, if he makes some court time tonight, how much of an impact could he have for this Manchester Giants side?
Yeah, William Lee's a great player. Playing against him when he was in Leicester, I think that what he can do for Manchester, he can push Jamel to the 3. And Jamel at the 3 is going to be a terrible, terrible matchup for Newcastle.
Well, it is a sold-out crowd here at the Virtue Motors Arena, as we are all set for tip-off here. Of course, two teams both in need of a win to really kickstart their season and push up the British Basketball League table. And it's going to be Taj Green and Legend Robertin both going for the opening jump.
Loud and proud, let's make some noise.
And the opening jump ball is won by the visitors, and they'll get this first possession of the game. Anderson fakes the 3, drives inside, off the glass, no good. Rebound is chased down by Johnson, and Eagles can push here, and they blow the layup in transition. Not a strong start for the Newcastle Eagles. Here's Legend Robertin, who jams it in, and that is the perfect start for the Manchester Giants.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving him easy ones. You know, it's going to be, you know, a lot of momentum for him.
Well, early 2-0 lead for the Manchester Giants. That'll do their confidence a whole lot of good. Of course, it's a tough place to play here, the Virtue Motors Arena. Raf, I know you would have played here many times over the years. It's going to be an offensive foul called against the Eagles. And Raf, just talking about, you know, Virtue Motors Arena. This is a venue that you've played. Just tell us what kind of crowd it is up there in Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a hostile place to play. I remember playing, having bad games, and the crowd will let you know about it. So hopefully Manchester won't fall into that trap.
They certainly are passionate about their basketball up in Newcastle. It's almost not loose by Johnson. It is not loose by Johnson. Last touched by the Giants. See here, just on the pass, just come off the hand. Here's Defoe, he likes that spot, and that is a textbook jumper for the 20-year British Basketball League veteran.
Yeah, that's automatic for Defoe. You can't let him get those.
Lewis, screen comes from Robertin. Anderson at the three-point line, kicks it back. Here's Harris for 3, off the mark. Offensive rebound is chased down by Stampley. He can't convert either. Rebound for Green. Johnson pushing in transition. Open 3 for Ricky McGill, and thank you very much as he knocks down the triple.
I don't know what happened to him a couple of games ago, but ever since then, he's been knocking down threes.
Certainly is one to watch for Newcastle Eagles. Had a big game, 18 points on Tuesday night in the European North Basketball League. Ball inside again to Legend Robertin, and a couple of times back-to-back going to the big man inside.
Yeah, I think once you see him making a couple, if you're Manchester, you got to keep going to him.
Taj Green left open for 3, and he'll knock that down all day. First bucket against his former side here tonight. Lewis, it's got a mismatch with Green on him. Here comes the screen from Robertin, but Lewis goes the other way. Shot clock winding down. Mid-range jumper is good for the Manchester Giants. Harris knocks it down. Well, Eagles looking to push in transition the other way. Open 3 ball, drains it from downtown. Ricky McGill with a pair of back-to-back threes.
Yeah, 2 in a row. It's going to make him feel confident. It's going to be really tough stretching out the defense.
Johnson's 3 is off. Here's Johnson pushing in transition, and count it, and the foul. And Jordan Johnson will get the line for a 3-point play.
Yeah, Johnson's second in the league in scoring, and it's plays like these. Really attacks Legend Robertin and gets the foul, and if he starts getting the foul trouble early, you know, he's not going to play as many minutes as he wants to play.
Yeah, he certainly has been a welcome sight for Newcastle Eagles fans this season. They, of course, would have seen him in action for the then Glasgow Rocks a couple of years ago. And then spent a season playing overseas. Now re-signed with the, signed with the Eagles back in the British Basketball League as he converts on a bonus. Early 8-point lead for the Newcastle Eagles. Anderson. Ball inside again to Legend Robertson and jams it in.
If this is how the game's going to go, it's going to be a tough night for Newcastle.
Well, they're leading already early on in this game, but again, they're allowing those open jams inside for Robertson, and those are the easiest shots he'll make all night. Here's Johnson for three, drains it. And Newcastle Eagles knocking down threes for fun in the first.
Remains to be seen what I just said. If they're going to trade threes for twos, Manchester are going to struggle.
4 for 4 from downtown for Newcastle Eagles early on in this game. Ball again into Robertson, nowhere to go, but kicks it out to Harris. Shot clock winding down. The right idea there to get a ball inside to Robertson, but just couldn't quite get through, Ralph.
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, they probably have the same thoughts I do. It's working, let's keep going to it. But if you try and force it, you know, Newcastle are ready for it.
It's going to be a foul called on Anderson. And Raf, you've gone up against Jamel Anderson many times. It's what he does on the defensive end. He likes to annoy the guards out there, a real pest on defense.
Yeah, you know, I would say that it was a bad foul, but sometimes you got to let them know that you're there. So I think, you know, Jamel, I don't know if he wanted to make that foul, but he's got to, you know, disrupt them and be, you know, strong and make sure his presence is felt.
Well, it's going to be Johnson to inbound to get us back underway as we approach the midway point in this first quarter. McGill kicks out. Three-pointer is up, back iron no good. Another rebound falls to Legend Robertson. Harris pushing in transition, off the glass and in.
That's a tough mate.
And Manchester slowly chipping their way back into this one, trailing by 7. McGill kicks out to Green. Now top to Johnson. Shot clock winding down. A deep three, heat check that time for Newcastle Eagles. Their first miss of this game from downtown. Anderson kicks out. Stampley, 3-ball, drains it.
I think with that one, as you can see, you know, there's a mismatch, so they tried to guard it, and there was a wide open 3.
Well, Manchester running back into this one. We're back with you after this short break.
Love or money?
I say money. I'll find love on the way.
I agree, money.
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 Love.
Love.
Definitely love. Definitely love. Sky's crazy.
There's more to life than money.
Money can't buy you love. Money can buy you happiness.
Love can't help me survive.
Love not paying the bills.
Yeah, love not paying the bills. You get me?
Invisibility or flying?
I'm flying. Invisibility. Invisibility.
I'm gonna go flying, just because it's easier to get around.
Yeah, I'll take a little fly.
Oh, invisibility. Nobody can see me.
Like, flying's cool and all, but I feel like if I had to save the world or something, invisibility would be more in hand, you know?
I'll probably say flying just because I can go wherever I want to go. You know what I'm saying? If I don't like a conversation I'm having, I can just fly away.
If you invisible, you can just get in a car. You can get in an Uber, and they don't even know.
Facts, but I can go where I want to go for free, though. Flying. I'm flying.
So you want a bird to kill you, then go ahead.
Well, I see Coach Mark Stootle in the house as we get back underway. Manchester able to cut this down to a 4-point game before the timeout. McGill, skip pass out to Ward Hibbert, who's just checked in. Johnson fakes the three, drives inside. No good that time, but an offensive rebound by Malcolm Delpesh. He can't convert, and Taj Green on a third chance opportunity puts it in for two. Here's Harris. Going to be a foul called on McGill. And again, just caught with his hand in the cookie jar there, Raf.
Yeah, same thing I was saying about Jamel. Maybe it's just I got to let him know that I'm here. I don't know how it's going to affect him later in the game. First one you can give away for free, but that second foul is going to take him out of the game in the first quarter with 4 minutes left.
Oh, it's going to be Harris to get us back underway from the sideline. Here is Harris. Screen comes. Lewis. Lewis nowhere to go. Has to shoot with a shot clock winding down and puts it in off the glass.
Yeah, they're giving him a lot of pressure, but he still was able to get it off.
Nice pass. And McGill finishes. You have to get back on defense when you play this Newcastle Eagles team.
Yeah, this is the 4th time they've gone from giving up a basket to taking it right back.
Baseline drive, puts it in and count it. And Stampley will get the line for a bonus.
I think right now the difference is they're shooting threes and Manchester are going inside. But, you know, live by the 3, die by the 3. So hopefully Newcastle can keep it up. But if they can't, Manchester, are coming.
Well, Nick Stampley at the line. Chance for him to convert on a bonus here. I'm going to cut the gap down to 3 with just under 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Green. Looking for Ward Hibbert. Stolen away by Anderson, great hands. And here's Boursier pushing in transition. Kicks out Lewis, deep 3, knocks it down. And we're tied up at 21 points apiece.
You do not want to see that if I'm a Newcastle fan. If Nick Lewis gets hot, it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah, you say, in the build, we spoke about him in the build-up. Another steal for Manchester, and here's Lewis again in transition. Lewis wide open for 3, and back-to-back triples for Nick Lewis. And he is a microwave out there. He's a guy that can get hot in a hurry.
Yeah, against London, he had 6 threes, and right there, it's not just about him hitting the 3. It's all about momentum. With 2 quick back-to-back, that's a 6-point swing. And, you know, it's going to give Manchester what they need to kind of get on a run.
Just a word on Nick Lewis, Raf. I mean, he's a guy that you know really well. Of course, the two of you were actually roommates together when you were both representing the Great Britain Under-20s program.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. Nick Lewis is a super competitive person. Just a little story, we used to bet on who could get the most points, and we used to trade clothes, and he has a lot of my GB clothes that I lost betting to him. So I hope he does well for the rest of the game.
So is that you saying you have no GB clothes left now in the locker because Nick Lewis has beaten you every time to win all your clothes off of you?
No, I'm a player too, so you know I was able to get some stuff from him. But yeah, he definitely got the best of me that year.
Well, a couple of back-to-back triples for Nick Lewis, and we really built him up in the pre-game, and he certainly hasn't disappointed so far, knocking down a pair of back-to-back triples. He had a few games starting on the bench this season, but has worked his way into that starting lineup and certainly delivering for Coach Simonian.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a while, and you know some of that comes with a lot of experience and a lot of. As he's talking to Jamal right now, both of them are veterans in the league. So if they're able to kind of bring some of the guys through, and you know get them on the same page, they can turn this season around.
Well, all set to get back underway. It's going to be Josh Ward Hibbert to inbound the ball. And William Lee has just checked into the game. Exciting times for Manchester Giants fans. Of course, He's sat out all season long so far with injury. As it's stolen away by Manchester. And here comes Lewis the other way. Boursier. Lee, first touch for him this season. Ball inside to Anderson. Here's Lewis, step back, mid-range two. No good that time, but an offensive rebound by Lawton, and he puts it in. Gives Manchester a lead here. McGill hesitates. Nice pass inside to Delpesh, and he's able to draw the foul.
Yeah, that's where you want to get Malcolm the ball, or Malcolm Delpesh the ball. That's what he does. I'm surprised he didn't dunk on Nick Lewis there, but, you know, Nick Lewis has very quick hands, as you see.
Of course, Malcolm Delpesh spent 2.5 years with the Bristol Flyers. He was on the same team as you, Raf, when you first joined the club. And, you know, we were talking about him off air, but he's a guy that, you know, when they can run the pick and roll through him, he can really put up points in a hurry for the Newcastle Eagles.
Yeah, another super athletic guy on the Newcastle roster. I think if they can figure out throughout the season where to get him the ball, he can do great things for them.
He'll knock down on the foul shot. Here's McNeil. Finds Boursier. Extra pass inside to Lee. Reverse layup off the glass is good. And William Lee, his first 2 points of the season.
Yeah, welcome back, William Lee.
Plenty of Manchester Giants fans will be happy to see him back out there on the court. It's knocked loose and last touched by the Giants. And William Lee, of course, had that spell with Leicester Riders. It's now his second season with the Manchester Giants. And he is a guy that can do it on both ends of the court. His neighbour backing down. Turnaround, tough shot, but it's going to be a foul. And Will Neighbour will go to the line to shoot too.
Yeah, you got to let him shoot that. That's a tough one. But without the foul, you know, we can get a rebound, we can keep going, but you put him on the line, an amazing shooter. Not a good foul.
Will Neighbour, of course, a household name in the British Basketball League. Had a number of spells around different clubs. Cheshire Phoenix, London City Royals, the Lions, and of course the Plymouth Raiders as well. And has now found a home here in Newcastle. 6'10" forward. Also had spells overseas throughout his career as well. Certainly Rafa, a veteran of this league.
Yeah, with his ability, what he does as a stretch 4 or stretch 5, however you want to play him, there's always a need for that. So he's able to kind of get the defense to spread out a bit, and it makes it easy for the guards and the post players that want to play inside.
Well, Manchester couldn't convert on the offensive end, but here's Will Neighbour right on cue, but unable to convert from deep.
Might have jinxed him a little there.
Anderson. Top to Lawton at the top of the key. Overcooked that one. And Johnson struggled to get hold of the rebound and ends up knocking it out of play.
Even though they couldn't convert, this is the same play that was, you know, before the media timeout, where Jamel Anderson's in the post and there's a mismatch, and then they overhelp and then somebody gets a wide open shot.
Ball into Anderson. Going to work on Ward Hibbert. Strong move, and again a foul is called. And Jamel Anderson has really been aggressive on those last few possessions.
Yeah, he has a different role in this team to, you know, previous teams, and I think he's really embracing it.
So you say, of course, you know, you've seen him with the Leicester Riders in the past and Cheshire Phoenix. Last season with Cheshire Phoenix, it was his highest average scoring. He averaged 12 points a game. This season now, averaging 16 points a game. Just talk us through, like, how his role has changed from last season.
You know, last season I wasn't here, but, you know, definitely if I was speaking on this season, I feel like he's just playing with a freeness and he's able to do what he's been working to do for all these years of basketball. And it's a pleasure to see him, you know, taking shots and, you know, making the right plays, because I know he can do it, and I want to see continued success for him.
Ward Hibbert pulls the trigger, way off the mark on the 3. Offensive rebound by Newcastle though, and here's Johnson this time. Delpesh looks to chase it down, and here's last touched by the Giants.
Yeah, they got to stay confident with shooting threes, but as I said earlier, live by the 3, die by the 3.
Well, just 30 seconds to go in the first. Neighbour gets it into Delpesh. Here is Ward Hibbert. Neighbour now, back to Ward Hibbert. Driving inside. Foul is called, but Raf, you just see 3 players collapse in on Ward Hibbert there on that possession.
I felt like he made his decision that he was going to drive before. You know, he has to stay aggressive, but maybe, you know, come on 2 feet and find somebody else.
Josh Ward Hibbert at the foul line. And of course, it's well documented, Raf, that Ward Hibbert as a junior made that decision. You know, he was a really talented tennis player growing up and had the, you know, also obviously a really good basketball player as well, and obviously chose that route of going down the basketball avenue. But again, a great player. I mean, regardless of which sport you choose there, you're winning either way because, you know, he's a great player.
Yeah, I remember, you know, he probably lived about 40 minutes away from me. And when he did make the decision to play for tennis, everyone was kind of shocked because he was such a good basketball player. But, you know, it's such an enjoying thing and an amazing thing to see him come back to basketball. Hopefully this is his one true love.
Shot clock is turned off. Ball into Lawton, able to draw the foul. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And Raf, since the start of this game, we kind of see the play just slow down a little bit. I mean, both teams just winding down the clock a little bit here. It was really back and forth to start this game, though.
Yeah, they started with some, right at the beginning, they struggled to find it, but once they started hitting threes, the pace started to go up. And Newcastle, as soon as there was a Manchester layup, they were pushing it down Manchester's throats and, you know, making easy baskets in transition. I think as we go into the next quarter, you know, the coaches are talking about what they need to fix, especially from Manchester. Let's get them to shoot contested threes if they are going to continue to shoot threes, and make sure we continue to rebound the basketball.
Final possession of the first. Here's Johnson. Finds Neighbour. Extra pass. Whitfield in the corner. No good that time. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. Manchester Giants off to the races. They lead 31 points to 25. We'll be back with you after this short break. Welcome back to the Virtue Motors Arena. It was a high-scoring first quarter between Manchester Giants and Newcastle Eagles. But Manchester Giants with a 6-point lead after the first 10 minutes. His neighbour, top to Delpesh, extra pass to Whitfield. Ward Hibbert looking for it inside. Back top to Johnson, though. Johnson splits the defence all the way to the rim and able to draw the foul. A pair of free throws coming up for Jordan Johnson.
Yeah, Jordan Johnson does a great job of getting to the line. You know, playing against him, annoying, but watching it, I can only show appreciation.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, isn't he? I mean, he's undersized for a point guard, but what is it in particular about, you know, the way he's able to get to the basket that makes him such a tough cover?
Because he's so quick. You have to try and get in front, and then when you're moving to get in front, he just kind of dips that shoulder, takes the contact. Maybe a little bit of selling it, but, you know, that's all part of it. And, you know, the refs do what he wants them to do.
He's able to knock down the first free throw. And the second one is good as well. And then chipping away at this Giants lead, the Newcastle Eagles. Here's Walsh. Screen comes from William Lee. Nice pass from Walsh. Inside. Now here's Lawton to the hole. It's going to be an offensive foul.
I don't know. I'm no ref, but maybe.
Well, here's another look at it, Ralph. I mean, just to see whether the feet are in the no charge zone. Oh, and it's tough to tell from this angle.
I think, you know, I don't want to annoy any refs, so, you know, if the ref has scored it, we'll go with that.
I was going to send Lawton to the bench. And that could be quite big for this team because that's his third personal foul.
I think William Lee being in is definitely going to help him cover that, but it's a big loss for Manchester.
Neighbours' three is no good. Rebound secured by the Giants. Borsier wide open for three. Off the back iron. Offensive rebound secured by Walsh, though. And he puts it in for two.
I think we need to see Taj back in there.
Manchester really crashing the offensive glass to start this second period.
Oh, good move.
Ward Hibbert able to draw the foul.
Again, Ward Hibbert, another one of those guys that, you know, maybe in the right setting, he could be, you know, a huge contributor. I think just the way he plays, he's always going to be a glue guy. He's always going to give what's needed for the team. But maybe I'd like to see a bit more from him offensively.
We saw him in that role in London Lions last season, and, you know, a team full of talent was really able to, you know, settle into life in there. You know, he'd come in, he'd give you a few minutes, he'd, you know, really get the job done. And again, this Newcastle Eagles team, they've got so many stars on the team, but he seems like he's really fitting into his role.
Yeah, like I said, he can fit into any team. And this Newcastle team, I think once they figure out where the ball's going in certain times of the game, and they can run certain plays to keep guys going, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Because they are, you know, you look at the league table in the British Basketball League, they are, you know, currently 7th, 3 wins, 7 losses on the season. But you have to look at the schedule as well. They've played plenty of teams in the top 4, and they have a favourable schedule coming up over the next 4 or 5 games or so as well.
Yeah, you know, it's not just enough to be a good team, because there's a lot of good teams in the league. They got to figure out how to do it all together, and, you know, with time, some of them will come.
Of course, no easy games in the British Basketball League, though. Any team can beat anyone on any given night. 4-point lead for the Giants. Here's Walsh. Screen comes from Robertin. Ball lobbed inside. Great pass from Walsh. And Legend Robertin unable to come up with the goods inside.
I think good defense from Malcolm there, ready to stay straight up. You know, not foul him and make him finish over the top of him.
McGill inside to Green. Green from the short corner. Overcooks the jumper. And another rebound falls to Legend Robertin, his third.
You know, not the best shot from Green, but, you know, we've got 2 minutes into the second. He wants to take more shots. That's the shots that get taken.
William Lee knocks down the 3 at the other end. And he's now up to 5 points so far in this one. Roberta did well to get back on defense, knock it out of play. And I imagine William Lee will have a minute's restriction here, of course, coming back from that injury. But, you know, Raf, we spoke about it, knocking down that 3, a little 2 in the first quarter. Good signs early on for him.
Yeah, especially with the foul trouble Manchester are going to have to deal with. He's going to have to step up. So, you know, give him his rest, and I'm sure we'll see him soon.
Delpesh hands off to McGill. Ricky McGill round the back. It's blocked by the Giants.
I think they're with the icing. That's when they're icing, they kind of force them to the sideline into those tough shots. So that's what Manchester wants them to do. If I'm Ricky McGill, I've got to find Malcolm and I've got to get rid of the ball.
Oh, stolen away. Great hands by Delpesh. Johnson looking to push in transition. Kicks out to Green. Johnson has got Stampley on him. Screen comes from Delpesh, rolling to the basket. Fadeaway jumper from Johnson, no good. Taj Green does well to keep it alive, but only into the hands of Manchester.
That last play was interesting. Jordan Johnson comes down. He could have made a quick pass to Taj Green, doesn't. Then there's a mismatch. He doesn't really pass the ball in there. And then he goes in and takes a tough shot above 3 people. They need him to score. However, I feel like, you know, you just saw the shot that Taj Green took. If they can find him there, then he'll be a bit more relaxed. He'll be more willing to play defense and you can get the best out of him.
You saw Delpesh on that pick and roll as well. I mean, that was something that, of course, he did so well with the Bristol Flyers team over the last 2.5 years or so, that, you know, when the shot clock's winding down, they call him up, they run a pick and roll with him. It's one of those ones where you almost just throw it at the rim and he'll just go up there and get it. And haven't seen too much of that from this Newcastle Eagles offense throughout the season so far.
Yeah, they're a team that scores, and when they score, somebody has to put the ball in. But then you're not thinking about, you know, the mindsets of some of these players. If you're not giving the ball inside, you know, as a 4-man myself, it's going to take a bit more for them to get going. As a point guard, you have the ball a lot, so that maybe you give it up first, and then when it's time for you to go score, then go and score.
Shot clock winding down. Green fires up for 3. No good that time. And Walsh does well to keep it from going out of bounds. Walsh. Screen comes from Stampley. Walsh with the basket. Turnaround fadeaway jumper is short. It's a wrestling match for the rebound. Taj Green felt he had hands on it. And the officials just going to talk this one over.
A friendly little pat on the back from Legend Roberta. Let's not forget, this is his Taj Green's old team. Let's see if there's a bit of frustration coming out now.
Of course, he had that rookie season with Manchester Giants, Taj Green. Really standout performances throughout the campaign. They just finished a bit higher in the league table. He could have easily been a front runner for league MVP. As Delpesh gathers in the rebound. McGill pushing, nice pass to Ward Hibbert, off the glass and in. And Manchester and Newcastle Eagles again pushing in transition.
Yeah, like I said, just a workhorse, glue guy. Joshua Hibbert does exactly what he needs to do. He runs the wing, gets the ball, and he gets rewarded with 2 points.
Well, AC coach Brian Simonian, of course, he joined the Manchester Giants in the summer, quite late into the summer as well, and a short amount of time to put this Giants squad together, but able to retain the likes of William Lee, bring in the likes of Evan Walsh and Jamel Anderson, some of the top British players in our league, and supplement that with some great Americans too. Here's McGill, puts it up, and here's Taj Green on the follow.
That's what he does.
And yeah, Taj Green just crashing the offensive glass there, Raf. I mean, he is a tough cover on the offensive end, and a timeout's called on the floor. You see both teams going back into the huddle. And Rafi, we spoke about Taj Green, but what is it? I mean, you've had a chance to play against him a couple of times so far this season. What is it that makes him such a tough cover? I imagine he's a hard player to box out.
Yeah, he's super athletic. He's got quick feet, quick off the floor, and he's just long limb present, you know. Even though, you know, I'm pretty good myself at rebounding, some of these times if I'm not boxing it out, I can't go 1-for-1 with him and get the ball. Like I was saying before, they might need to give him the ball a bit more, but if I am Taj Green, how I get myself into the game, instead of shooting threes or like tough mid-range shots, I go get some offensive rebounds, I get the flow going, and then some of these threes and mid-range shots will fall at the end of the game.
We've seen a couple of times on offense that the Manchester Giants, they've settled for those threes early in the offense as well, and it's the possessions where they're either pushing in transition or really working it around, making the defense work, that they're finding the most success tonight.
Yeah, also additional to that, they started well by feeding the ball inside. If it's Legend or it's Jamal Anderson, I think they need to go back to that. It doesn't mean they have to shoot twos. It just means it starts by going inside and they can get back out for threes or, you know, contest mid-range shots.
Well, there you see Taj Green on your screen. Big fan favourite with the Manchester Giants last season. I'm sure fans find it a bit strange seeing him in the black and white colours right now.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same about Malcolm Del Pesh.
Here's Walsh. Lewis looking for a screen from Robertin. Here he is rolling to the basket. Got good position inside. Do well to keep it from going out of play. An offensive rebound again for Lewis. And Giants with a second chance opportunity. Blocking foul is called on Taj Green.
I think he fell a bit quick there. You know, he knew what was coming. He moved his feet. Let me take another look.
I mean, so it's so hard to tell, isn't it? I mean, we get the benefit of getting to see it for a second chance, but when you see it that at full speed, I can imagine it can be really, really difficult.
Yeah, some of these, you know, I know it's not supposed to be a subjective thing, but it's tough to be a ref. It's happening so fast, you got to make a split decision call, and you got to stick with it.
Here's Walsh. Oh, nice block, but a foul is called on Johnson. And that will send Giants to the line to shoot 2 free throws, which will be coming up right after the break. Welcome back to Newcastle, where the visiting Manchester Giants hold a narrow lead over the Newcastle Eagles. Of course, big game for both sides tonight. Both looking to climb their way up the British Basketball League table. Nevin Walsh unable to convert on the first. Second is good for Walsh, and he extends the Giants' lead. Here's Ricky McGill. Brings it up over the timeline. Screen comes from Green. Ward Hibbert now. Johnson curling off the screen, looking to drive inside. Shot clock down to 5. Johnson having to go to work. Pulls up for 3. It's going to be a foul called. And he'll go to the line to shoot 3 free throws. And Raf, I mean, one of the things, I mean, I know you used to coach last season in Germany, and the one thing you say to your players is, don't foul a three-point shooter.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, he knows how to sell it, and it's just a testament to him. He knows how to get the refs to call what he wants them to call. But, you know, if I'm Harris, I believe, who just fouled, I can't be that close to him. I've got to give him room to land, and, you know, maybe I just let him shoot a contested shot.
Now Jordan Johnson able to convert from the free throw line. He's a 79% free throw shooter on the season so far, averaging 19 points per game. League second leading scorer in average points per game so far this season. And Raf, he's one of the players that's, you know, he's definitely top of the scouting report for this Newcastle Eagles team. He gets it done night in, night out.
I think, yeah, with a player like that, you have to let him do what he does. So, you know, he might get 19, but if you let the other guys go off as well, then it's going to be a struggle for you.
He's able to cut it down to a 3-point game. Lewis, screen comes from Robertin. Again, rolling to the basket. Lewis kicking it out. Stampley extra pass to Walsh for 3 and knocks it down. Evan Walsh wide open, says thank you very much.
Yeah, Nick Lewis gets into the paint, draws 2 guys, kicks it out, and the extra pass is a wide open 3.
Here's McGill at the other end, and it's a shootout here at the Virtue Motors Arena.
Right back on the other side.
Third 3 of the game now for Ricky McGill.
He's got to tell me who his shooting coach is, because he was not shooting like this at the beginning of the year.
Harris almost loses control of it, but finds Lewis, fakes the 3, finds Harris as a shot clock violation. Wouldn't have counted anyway. It's one of those ones where I just didn't realise just how long was left on the clock, Raf.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can see Nick Lewis tried to get it off, and I'm sure Harris thought he was going to shoot it. Nick being who he is, a bit surprised. The pass, good defense by Newcastle.
Well, chance for Newcastle Eagles to tie it if they can knock down a 3, but Jordan Johnson goes inside off the glass for 2, and it is a 1-point game.
So, yeah, revisiting that point I said earlier, you got to let him make 19, but it has to be, you know, an inefficient 19. If you just let him get to the basket with free throws and, you know, open layups, it's going to be like, you know, a tough night, like I've said 4 or 5 times already today.
And those are the shots you see there, him just missing that mid-range, tough mid-range too. And if you're a Manchester Giants player, you'd like him to take those.
But if you give him some of these layups, he's going to start making those mid-range shots. So that mid-range shot, if I'm Jordan Johnson, I'm thinking I've just made 2, I'm feeling hot, maybe it's a heat check. If he had made that, it would be a completely different momentum shift in the game.
Well, Newcastle Eagles have done well to bring it down to a 3-point game. They actually led by as many as 9 points early on in this one. Manchester also led by as many as 9. Leeds gone back and forth in this game. See there, William Lee back into the action. 5 points so far for him tonight. Oh, nice move. All the way to the basket, and Giants able to draw the foul, head to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, so the foul's on Whitfield, but, you know, as you can see, it's Jordan Johnson that let him reject the screen. This is not what Newcastle prepared for. No team prepares for a rejected screen. You're supposed to force him into the screen, let's handle it with the big, and let's continue throughout on defense. But if you just let him reject the screen, you kind of put one of your teammates in a bad position.
And I think it's a couple of times you mentioned about the team defense. It's the rotation of the players on the defensive end. I mean, you need, when a player beats you like that, you kind of want someone to come over. You then need another player to come over and help the helper as such out there on the court.
Yeah. Some of these, there's a lot of different philosophies as a coach, but you know, the main thing is being on the same page. Right there, you know, Whitfield is not expecting to be in a help position, so he's not prepared for it, and it kind of leads to a foul.
Well, Manchester able to extend the lead to 4. Johnson to the hole. Lee gets a hand on it, does well to knock it off the backboard, and that's exactly what William Lee can do on the defensive end.
Yes.
Nice pass inside to Lee, and William Lee getting it done on both ends for the Manchester Giants.
Yeah, so we're looking at bench points. William Lee has come off the bench, and what's that, 7 points for him right now. He's going to be huge for them throughout the game. I know, you know, he might not be able to play as many minutes as he wants to, but way to come and welcome himself back to the league.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? You've been out of action, you want to come back into the game, you want to make an impact on the court. He's certainly done that so far for the for the Manchester Giants on both ends of the floor as well. You know, you see him on the defensive end, and that turns into offense as well.
Yeah, like I said, if you start to give him confidence, it's going to be another player you have to worry about.
Well, both teams talking it through. Manchester Giants able to stretch the lead out once again here. Nick Lewis leads the way with 10 points so far tonight. Of course, the big story of the night, William Lee returning to action after an extended spell on the sidelines through injuries. Played just 6 minutes so far, has 7 points to his name. And we'll talk about the bench points here tonight, Raf. I mean, you look down the stat sheet, the bench is really getting it done for this Manchester Giants team.
Yeah, 100%. Like we were just talking about William Lee, but let's talk about Evan Walsh. Yeah, he's come in 7 minutes, he scored 6 points, and I think it's going to be, you know, one of the strongest points for Manchester if they can get that rotation going and really show that depth.
Well, both teams getting set to get back underway. Both sides in search of a win to work their way up the league table. Right now, it's the Manchester Giants who have the upper hand as there's just over 2 minutes to go until the half. McGill. What a move and what a steal. Great defense by Harris. Going coast to coast, fakes it and draws the foul. And Raf, those quick hands on defense, that is an elite move out there on the court. Incredible.
Yeah, they ran the play, didn't really materialize into anything, but it just made Ricky McGill go one-on-one, and Harris did a great job of taking the ball from him. If they're going to play offense like that, Newcastle are going to struggle. I know that they're really good guards, and they can, you know, 5 times out of 10 or 6 times out of 10 get to the lane, but you're going to isolate some of the other players on the team, and then it's going to lead to some turnovers and some forced shots.
Jalen Harris no good on the first. Of course, you mentioned about this Newcastle Eagles team. They were the talk of the British Basketball League over the summer, bringing in big name after big name, but you know, you've got that many big names on your team. It's about how do they adjust to their new roles when they play all together.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys, you know, the reason why they are playing right now is because they spend a lot of time being the main guy on their team. I don't think Newcastle have a terrible problem to fix. It's just figuring out.
And Johnson will get on the line for a bonus. And you know, just talking there, Raf, about these big names on teams around the British Basketball League, and that's one of them right there, Jordan Johnson.
Yeah, I think, going on my last point, Jordan Johnson has the ball in his hands. He's been able to do exactly what he does in and out. 15 points so far. That's something that Manchester has to try and figure out. But if he can also get his teammates involved, Newcastle will be a formidable opponent.
He's able to cut the gap down to 4. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. Here's Harris. Tops up. William Lee takes the handoff. Now here's Nick Lewis. One-on-one with Josh Ward-Hibbert. Step back, tough 3 off the back iron, no good, but a rebound secured by Will Neighbour. Here's Johnson, again pushing in transition. Coast to coast for Jordan Johnson, and he's got 17 first half points.
If he can do it all today, they're going to get a win. But if I'm Manchester, I've got to limit some of these easy layups and see if we can force him to try and get other people involved.
Harris off the glass for 2, puts it in. And again, able to get points easily inside. Here's Neighbour. Double team comes. Tough fade up from Will Neighbour. Rebound is secured by Lee. Lewis pulls it back out, finds William Lee. Hands off with Harris. Stampley back top to Harris. Pulls the trigger on the triple. And the rebound falls to Will Neighbour. Either team really able to score in this last minute or so. Open 3 for Ward Hibbert. He knocks it down. And it is a 1-point game heading into this last possession of the first half.
There we go. Jordan Johnson, you know, is attacking. He got all 5 players to look at him, and he found the right pass. That's a win in basketball.
Final 6 seconds to go in the first half. Lewis able to draw the foul, and that will send him to the line. And Raf, we spoke about, you know, defensive principles, you know, for the Newcastle Eagles. That is not a foul you want to give away with just 3 seconds to go.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely the guy to talk about fouls because I probably get about 5 a game. But, you know, some of these can't be helped. You know, their benefit is that they're about to go into halftime. So, you know, let's just get these free throws out of the way and let's regroup.
Now, Nick Lewis heading to the line. AC coach Brian Simonian on your screen. And Nick Lewis, a pair of free throws coming up for him. He's got 10 first half points in this one. He knocked down a pair of back-to-back threes early on in the first quarter. As he knocks down the first, push the lead out to 2. Lewis no good on the second, pulls it out for a baseline jumper, can't finish that time, and that will do it for a back and forth first half, a high scoring first half here in Newcastle. But at the end of the second quarter, it is the Manchester Giants that lead the Newcastle Eagles. Raf and I will be back with you right after the break to break down all the action from the first half. Welcome back to our coverage of Friday Night Hoops right here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. I'm joined by Bristol Flyers captain Raphael Thomas-Edwards. And Raph, this game's gone back and forth here. I mean, the Manchester Giants, they're leading by 2. What have you made of the first half?
You know, looking at the stats, there's nothing that really stands out. However, Jordan Johnson has been an absolute monster. He's been going downhill, he's been drawing fouls, and, you know, the occasional 3 in there as well. If he can, you know, find his teammates as well, you know, I'm going to call it a Newcastle win. But, you know, on the other side, Manchester, they've done well to be scoring from the bench. And I think these opposing styles of having one player score and then, you know, spreading the points out is going to be a matchup to watch in the next half.
Well, let's take a look at the key stats at the halftime break. And Rafi, say there, not too much separating these two teams. I mean, one stat that's not on the list is bench points. Manchester almost double the amount of bench points to Newcastle.
Yeah. So William Lee, he's done a great job. 7 points in 8 minutes. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of him in the next half. If I'm Newcastle, you know, continue to do what I'm doing and see if other guys can get going.
Well, let's take a look at the story of the first half, and this game really started out as a bit of a 3-point shootout. I mean, teams knocking down triples. You see Darius Defoe getting Newcastle off the mark with that textbook jumper.
It's
and
patented.
Both teams, I mean, yeah, Ricky McGill also a pair of back-to-back threes. It was a 3-point shootout early on.
Yeah, Ricky McGill, like I said, he's been amazing from 3 in the last couple games. If they can continue to do hit from 3, like I said, it's going to be a Newcastle win. But, you know, with making threes comes a lot of misses.
Well, Manchester Giants responded later on in the first half. They led by as many as 9. Both teams led by as many as 9 points, and they found success early on through legend Robertin, a couple of back-to-back dunks, Raph.
Yeah, Manchester were leading with points in the paint. Robertin was, you know, started really well. I'd like to see more from Jamal Anderson posting up because I think that opens up some options for the rest of the team. So we'll see what they do with that.
Which coach do you think will be happier at the half-time break? I mean, on one side, you've got Manchester Giants who are sharing the love. They've got 18 bench points. On the other side, you've got Jordan Johnson really carrying the load for Newcastle.
If I'm either of the coaches, I'm going into there, I'm saying we need to do better because this is a huge game for both of them. Whoever wins is going to be on top in the standings. So if I'm the coach, I'm just letting them know how important this game is, and I'm making sure they come out on the third quarter with some fire. Yeah,
plenty at stake for both of these teams as they try and work their way up the league table. This one really, neither could call it. I mean, you see William Lee as well getting into the action, and that's been a big boost for this Newcastle Eagles, Manchester Giants team even, having him return from injury.
Yeah, fortunately for us, we didn't have to handle him, but, you know, Newcastle are going to have to figure out a way to take him off the boards and, you know, stop him from scoring.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Raph. Well, it is a 2-point lead for the Manchester Giants at the halfway point. But last week, it was a big upset in the British Basketball League as the Plymouth City Patriots even, took the scalp of the London Lions, their first league defeat of the season. Let's take a look back at all the highlights.
Pulls up, Hail Mary 3, it's up, and it's good. Taylor Johnson, 5 points already here in the first 2 minutes. Solowade with a jab step, he tries a 3, and again, Mo Solowade, his jump shot, especially from the perimeter, just gets better and better. Faulkner putting on the pressure against Caboza. Caboza makes a beautiful pass, throws it up. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? That might be the play of the season. Got to go back to the pass coming from Mason Faulkner. We might have just seen magic in the form of a Plymouth City Patriots. With a little tempo in this game. Going behind the back. The three-pointer's up, and again, it's just raining three-pointers. Caboza wide open, can't get it. Johnson gets a rebound. Gotta keep this one alive. Finds wide. Oh, baby! Are you kidding me? Another turnover. Well, again, look out below. Fast your seatbelt. Good night. Connects with it. Wiley Airlines, let's go on vacation.
He loves it, and the crowd love it.
Dante Grantham. There's a play you cannot leave wide open because he will make it. Mo Solowade with the cash. Plymouth again trying to go up above 20 points. Leading by 19. Atwood, he doesn't take many threes, but again, this time, no problem. Kieran Sandy couple of travels could be called there. Kaboza with the dagger. Well, there's a turnover. Uday comes up with it. Kieran Sandy trying to finish this one. Goes in with the Eurostep. Gets rejected. Wiley says, you're not getting on the plane. Now a deep three by Mason Faulkner. Good night, Plymouth. That is for you. End-to-end action.
Now a turnover.
Another turnover now. They have numbers. Wiley could have gone for the alley-oop, but Mason Faulkner, no problem. Cash money. It's open tonight here on Sunday. Congratulations to Plymouth City Patriots. They win this one, 94-70, as they're no longer the unbeatable London Lions.
A little chip on his shoulder to show everybody what he's got, but there's that big spike that we talked about from Idowu.
London Lions just took it away with three quick three-pointers and made it really tough. And look at the defense now as well.
Morgan going up, throwing it down with a bit of authority. But look at this, defense coming from Morgan. Look at the bunnies going in and throwing it down. Nice little bump down the middle. Can't get it, gets his own rebound. Reverse slip. Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness, throwing it up, throwing it down. Dale Pitt says we ain't got no problem selling tickets in Newcastle.
That pass didn't make it all the way past Jack. Hudson waiting for Jack on the trail with a two-handed flush.
So good in the open floor, aren't they?
Ramsey running it back. Through the Giants. Oh my goodness, what a follow from Bennett Cook. Wiley! Through the contact, the big jam, and he's got a free throw coming. Shot clock is off. Rideau needs to take his time here, don't go too soon. He drops it off to Wolf to get some points. Again, a hesitation. Oh, Pipkins goes up over the defense to hammer it home.
Faulkner putting on the pressure against Kaboza. Kaboza fought. Makes a beautiful pass. Throws it up. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me? That might be the play of the season. Got to go back to the pass coming from Mason Faulkner. We might have just seen magic in the form of a Plymouth City Patriots.
Welcome back to the Virtue Motors Arena. It's a tight one here in Newcastle, but it's also a tight one up in the Morningside Arena. The Leicester Riders just trailing the London Lions live on Sky Sports right now. Of course, 4 other games going on for the rest of this weekend. Surrey take on your Bristol Flyers tomorrow, Raf. That's at 5 p.m. on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Caledonia and Sheffield. And then on Sunday, you've got Plymouth City Patriots and Newcastle, rounded out by Cheshire and Leicester. Don't forget, you can watch every game this season live and on demand via the British Basketball League YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe as well. Well, Raf, it's been a close game in this one so far. I mean, neither team's really able to take control of this game. But just before the break, you were speaking about Jamel Anderson. And, you know, you look down the stat line at Jamel Anderson so far in this game. He's a guy that's really led this Manchester Giants team in this season. Just 2 points so far for him.
Yeah, you know, with him being in the league so long, I'm sure he's thinking about other guys getting them going. But, you know, with myself as well, you know, it's one of those things where you got to remain as aggressive as possible so they're guarding you, so when they need you to do what you need to do, you're scoring.
Well, all set to get back underway. It's a big game for both of these teams in the lower half of the league table. Defoe swings to Johnson. He's got a mismatch with Anderson on him. Ball inside to Defoe. Rattles around the rim and gets the drop.
You know, I know you said it's a mismatch, but I think they've chosen to put Jamel Anderson on him. He scored 18 points, talking about Jordan Johnson. You know, at this rate, he's going to get 36, and Jamel Anderson being such a great defender, you know, if I'm the coach, maybe I do give him a stint on guarding him and trying to shut him down.
He's certainly got that length to guard him. Here's Anderson for 3 at the other end, and right on cue, Raf knocks down the triple.
Yeah, maybe I gave him a bit of confidence through the wire.
Certainly listen to that one, I think. Going to be an offensive foul called on Taj Green. And we've seen officials clamp down on that moving screen quite a lot over the past year or so, and they're really looking for that screener just to have both feet planted.
I think, you know, some players, some coaches are going to blame the screener, but yeah, if I'm the ball handler, I've got to make sure that my guy's set so I can come off the screen without him getting a foul.
Burton hands off with Lewis. Back top to Robertin. Here he is rolling to the basket. The right idea for Harris, just looking for him, but just comes off the foot of a Newcastle player.
Yeah, good intention on the pass, a little bit more, you know, touch, and that's a wide open dunk.
Well, they had great success early on in this game, going down low to Ledger Robertin. He's been a bit quiet since then in this game. Just 6 points and 3 rebounds so far tonight. Oh, great steal
great
on
hands.
Green.
Oh,
It's stolen back by Manchester. And they've left Nick Lewis wide open for 3 and unable to convert. And Manchester Giants do well to grab a second chance opportunity.
Oh, shoot those. You just hit one.
Anderson, you say, yeah, he's just wide open there. You say he's just knocked down a 3 ball and decided to pass up on that occasion, Raf.
Yeah, this is one of the things I was talking about. If you stay aggressive, you're going to shoot that. You know, he drew the foul, but, you know, in a different scenario, it could have been a turnover or even more tougher shot. I just want to see Jamel Anderson be aggressive the whole time.
Lewis. Here's Anderson again, this time guarded by Whitfield. Passes it up inside. Unable to get it to go. And here comes Johnson the other way. Looking his way through traffic. Finds Whitfield. Long closeout by Anderson. Offensive rebound by Taj Green. And he's all fired up after that one.
That's one of those things I was talking about. If you're not hitting them and keeping them out the paint, you can't jump with him. If I can't jump with him, he definitely has no chance.
Certainly a menace on the offensive glass. Stampley. Anderson looking for it inside, ends up with him. Nice pass inside to Robertin, who gets the friendly roll off the rim for 2.
Great job finding Jamel inside, and he makes the right decision.
McGill wide open. The lane just parted for him as he just glides his way to the basket.
Yeah, you got to do better from Manchester.
Anderson looking to turn the corner, and again, Raf, here you see Jamel Anderson being aggressive, looking to attack the basket, and this time it results in a foul call.
Yeah, so, you know, he's only taken 1 extra shot than previous, but he's made a good pass, he's drawn 2 fouls, and I think if he continues on this path, you know, he'll be a big boost for Manchester.
Lewis, guarded by McGill. Nick Lewis driving inside. What a pretty move. And he's able to convert on a reverse layup.
Yeah, he's been doing that since he was 19.
Is that top of the scouting report on Nick Lewis, is it, Raf?
I think he's just a silky smooth type of player. So some of those ones, if you let him free, he's going to look a bit more stylish than if I'm doing it.
Speaking of silky smooth, Darius Defoe able to get that layup to go. Anderson pulls out for 3, no good that time. Another offensive rebound, almost got by Manchester, but Defoe does well to keep it with the Eagles.
You know, I'm not a fan of that particular 3, but if that's what he has to do to stay confident, then, you know, you may have to give that one over from the coach.
A quick 3 by Green was off the mark on that last possession. And it's going to be a stoppage in play. I think it was a wet patch on the court, potentially. And there you see Coach Mark Stoutel. He's done well to put together this incredibly talented Newcastle Eagles roster this season. And we were just talking off air about it, Raf, but I feel like we haven't seen the full potential yet of this Newcastle Eagles team. It's all about, you know, them finding their rhythm together and being at their best when playoff time comes around.
Yeah. It's a long season. They have a lot of chance to turn it around, but they just got to figure out where each guy goes, how they can, you know, best be served. And, you know, like you said, talking about Mark Stewart, great coach, but now, you know, he's got a Ferrari. Can he drive it at the speed it needs to be driven at?
Anderson. Robertin rolling to the basket. Anderson looking to find him inside. They're going to keep it in play, Legend Robertin. Great fake, and Legend Robertin just throws it down.
Yeah, he kind of let Defoe know that it's not his league anymore.
Well, foul's called on the floor. Is it going to be a shooting foul, or is it going to be a foul on the floor? The referee's just going to talk it over. There you see Legend Robertin just backing down Darius Defoe. What an incredible move, and just great footwork inside as well. Here's Defoe, inside to Green. Green's got a mismatch for Stampley on him. Tough shot in the end, and the rebound falls to Robertin.
I'd like to see Taj, you know, turn to use that left hand. I'm sure the scouting report says that he's going to go over that shoulder every single time. So just be versatile. I know this is his 2nd year as a pro, but I know he'll develop that as he goes on.
Oh, stolen by. Here's Taj Green. You're cleared for takeoff.
Okay, you know, that's what he does. You know, in my younger years, maybe I could have done that, but, you know, seeing Taj on the fast break is what the fans have been waiting for.
There's great defense by Johnson as well to come away with the steal.
Good rebound.
Offensive rebound by Manchester. Again, they can't convert. Here goes Johnson again the other way. Pull-up three-pointer. No good that time. It's going to be an over-the-back foul on Taj Green. You see him not happy with that one, but I'm sure he's happy with this one. There's a great defense from Newcastle, and Taj Green, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think, you know, like I said before, this is his 2nd year as a pro. Some of these fouls, while they are frustrating, we're going to need him to stay poised and composed for the rest of the game. So if I'm, you know, one of the veterans on the team, Defoe, I've got to bring him in and say, hey, look, the foul's taken. Maybe, you know, choose not to go over the back sometimes because we need you in the game, and just make sure you're ready for the next play.
1-point lead for the Manchester Giants. Here's a triple off the mark, and the rebound ends up in the hands of Ward Hibbert. Johnson. Almost stolen away, but into the hands of Defoe, though. Defoe turns the corner.
Yes.
Nice pass inside, and Ward Hibbert puts it in for 2.
Great pass by Defoe. I don't know what's going on with Ricky McGill in his hands right now.
Here's
Maybe
Lewis.
Unhappy with the calls.
Lewis dancing his way inside, can't convert that time, but another offensive rebound by the Giants. Again, can't convert, third chance opportunity. It's great defense by, oh, it's going to be a foul called in the end.
I think Manchester slightly got bailed out there. You know, grabbing the boards, getting an offensive rebound, you got to be aware of who's around you. Maybe that's a kick out three. Great rebounding, but let's not convert from it.
Well, timeout called on the floor. We'll be back with you after this short break. Open 3 ball. Welcome back to Newcastle, and there you see legend Robertin on your screen. He's really come alive in this second half, and Raph, I had a chance to speak to Newcastle Eagles legend Drew Lasker ahead of this game, and he said that he's been training with Ryan Richards over the summer, just really looking to slow his game down and really work on his footwork, and that's shown so far in this game.
Yeah, he's with them, super efficient, 5 for 6 right now. And you can see in that last move, he just kind of used his footwork, got around Defoe, and there's an easy dunk.
Well, before the break, there's a foul against the Newcastle Eagles, so it will send Stampley to line to shoot 2. Of course, 24-year-old forward. Oh, they're going to swap. It's going to be Lawson instead. I beg your pardon. He was a player that was fouled. As, he'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. And Austin Lawson, 6'9" forward. He graduated college in 2019 from Kathleen University. Averaged 10.6 rebounds a game. Had his rookie season with Feyenoord Rotterdam in the Netherlands. And last season had a couple of spells in Greece with 2 separate teams. Where he averaged 8 points and 6 rebounds a game. So just bringing that little bit of experience, Raf, to this Manchester Giants side.
Yeah, they need everything they can get right now. I think he has a lot of room to improve, but you know, if he continues to do what he's doing, it can only be a benefit to Manchester.
Oh, it's going to be Stampley shooting the free throws in the end. I think they just were wondering who the foul was actually called on before the timeout, and in the end, it's Stampley at the line who's going to shoot 2 free throws. Unable to convert on the first, though. So Rafa been waiting for that one for a while. Different free throw shooters going up, and then it's one of those ones where you've got to make that first one if there's been all that hassle with the free throw shooters.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, too much time at the free throw line makes you overthink, and that could be the reason why they miss.
Second one is good for Stampley. Gets his tally up to 7 points so far tonight. And we are tied up at 61 points apiece. Anderson took one in the chops there. Josh Ward-Hibbert gets the friendly roll from downtown.
You know, Jamal Anderson's usually, he's a smart player, but I don't think him going for that, you know, reaching and giving up a wide open 3 was the best decision. But, you know, sometimes you got to gamble and, you know, risk it for the biscuit.
Well, risk certainly paid off that time. Here's Nick Lewis. Stampley driving inside. Can't convert that time. Another offensive rebound by Manchester. And this time, the triple is good for Jalen Harris.
Yeah, Newcastle have to do a better job on the rebounds. They've been getting away with it right now, but there, you know, going to turn it into a 3 when it could have been a stop.
Under 3.5 minutes to go in the third. All tied up at 64 points apiece. Neighbour at the elbow, looking inside to Ward Hibbert. Here's a great seal, and Ward Hibbert finishes.
Yeah, while he might not be, you know, the tallest player, I can tell you for a fact, Josh Ward Hibbert is a very, very strong person.
Sounds like a man from knowing from experience there, Raf.
Yeah, he's not as strong as me, but you know, he's up there.
Well, it's trickled out of play for a Newcastle ball. Number two, as this game winds down, Raf, every possession is going to count going into this fourth quarter. Of course, we spoke about in the build-up just how much was at stake in this game between two teams that are really in search of a win.
Yeah. Like we kind of talked about at the beginning, they're 7th and 8th, and this win could be huge. Could kind of start off a run for either team. So, you know, I'm sure they've got that in the back of their minds.
Ricky McGill knocks it in from downtown. And Newcastle Eagles looking to pull away a little bit here.
Get me this man's shooting, coach. What has been the difference? Ricky McGill has been on fire from 3.
Lawson, it's going to be a turnover out of play. You talk about Ricky McGill, I mean, he's 4 for 5 even from downtown in this game so far tonight.
Yeah, when they came and played against us in Bristol, he hit a couple of threes at the end of the game, looked at me on the bench and told me it's going to be a long season. So we'll see if he can continue to hit these threes all season. So far, it's looking good, but we will see.
Certainly been knocking them down tonight. As you say, 4 for 5 from downtown for him in this one. His side just stretching away with a lead here as the third quarter winds down. Neighbour, top to Delpesh. Johnson now, the shot clock's winding down. Ward Hibbert has to go to work, settles for a fadeaway jumper, and it's rebounded by Borsier. Harris looking to drive left. Screen comes from Norton. Here's Lee now. Ball inside to Anderson. Nice spin, baseline, extra pass to Lawton. Couldn't quite control it. And that is a poor pass to Harris at the top of the three-point line.
Yeah, there's not a lot of players that can kind of guard Jamal down there in his position, but, you know, former teammates in Josh Ward Hibbert, I think he did a good job of guarding him. Jamal got the spin right there, almost got an assist, but, you know, a bit of a mishandle, and, yeah, leads into a Manchester turnover.
And you see the turnover count on your screen in this one. Manchester still within touching distance here. They trail by as many as 9 in this game. Here's McGill. Delpesh at the top of the three-point line. Now sets the screen for Johnson. Nice pass inside, and Delpesh just loses control of it. Out of play to Manchester Giants.
You know, the same defense with the ice, kind of force him to the sideline again. He makes the right pass. If that's a better catch, that's a finish for Malcolm.
Borsier. Now Stampley finds McNeil. Borsier kicks it out to William Lee. Pulls up from the top of the key. Just trickles out into the hands of Newcastle. And here comes Johnson the other way, pushing in transition to count it. And he'll get the line to convert on a three-point play.
I don't know what he's paying these refs, but, you know, he's going to let me know.
He's got that ability, though, Raf, just to really get to the line. And you see he's really pushing in transition. He's leading the way for this Newcastle Eagles team here tonight. Now up to 20 points to go along with his 6 assists as well. He's really carried the offensive load for them.
Yeah, you know, I said at the beginning, kind of let him get his 19, but not at this point. If he gets 20 points at this, you know, depth of the game, he still gives him a lot of time to kind of keep pushing.
And it's that backcourt combo as well. I mean, you see Ricky McGill not far behind on 16 points, and when Johnson and McGill are both combining like that, of course they're doing it tonight without Larry Austin as well. But when there's two players in your backcourt combining for nearly 40 points out there on the court, it can do great things for your team on offense.
Yeah, so Larry Austin's out, another great player, another great guard that they have, but it is giving them some more chance to get some shots from Ricky, get some shots for Jordan, and making it not take away from anybody else.
Now, just a quick reminder, you can watch highlights of every British Basketball League game this season right here on YouTube. You can watch every game live as well, or on demand. Of course, Inside the Paint, a magazine show for everything you need to know about the British Basketball League every week on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be first to see all the action. Well, Ralph, Newcastle have started to pull away here with just over a minute to go in the third. What will be some of those key talking points, do you feel, in that Manchester Giants last time out?
Like I said, we got to play through Jamal. If he stays aggressive, they get easy shots, they get threes. We got to stay on the offensive glass. So, if we do take some tough shots, we're cleaning them up.
Johnson able to convert on the three-point play. He now leads the way with 21 points, to go along with 6 assists. Boursier. Inside to William Lee. Against Will Neighbour. Back out to Boursier. The shot clock's at 5. Almost stolen away, but they've left William Lee open for 3. And it was rebounded by Will Neighbour. Here comes Newcastle the other way. Johnson, open 3 is short. And the rebound falls to Manchester. Around about 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock.
It might seem like a quick shot for Jordan Johnson, but the timing of the clock that gives him another possession.
Three-pointer is good on the wing for Manchester. It's exactly what the doctor ordered right now, because this game was threatening to run away from them. Final 5 seconds of the third. It's going to be a foul called against Boursier, I believe, on the floor. Just the third team foul on the Manchester Giants, though. They still have a foul to give with these final 4 seconds or so. It's possessions like this, in a tight game like this one, that could mean all the difference. Neighbour inside, finds McGill, deep 2, in and out, and that will do it for the end of the third quarter. Newcastle Eagles slowly pulled away. We'll have a fourth quarter action coming up right after the break. Welcome back to Newcastle. We're all set for a tasty finish here at the Virtue Motors Arena. It's been a close game the whole way through. And as we start the fourth, it is Newcastle that have a narrow lead over the Manchester Giants. Here's Borsier, finds William Lee. Anderson thought about the three, but here's Borsier again on the baseline. It's going to be foul called on Jordan Johnson. And Raf, it's been a free-flowing game. You know, the first half, he spoke about how high-scoring this game was. That third quarter, it seemed like both teams really locked down on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think also, you know, when you come out of half, you have a little bit of, you know, rust and whatever from halftime to kind of get through. And the quickest team to figure it out usually comes out with a win at the end.
William Lee with the layup, grabs the offensive rebound. Oh, it's blocked by Ricky McGill. And it's going to be a foul called on Will Neighbour.
What a block by Ricky McGill.
Yeah, it's not often you see your guard blocking the big man like that, but William Lee just getting his shot swatted away by McGill. We spoke about the defensive intensity. This is where the game will be won and lost here tonight. And Ricky McGill to get his hands on that one. Ward Hibbert. Top to McGill. Kicks out, open. Corner three ball for Josh Ward Hibbert. And he knocks it down for three. Stretch the lead out to 8 points here. The Newcastle Eagles. It's going to be a travel on the Manchester Giants. And another turnover for them. Newcastle chance to push it out to a 10-point lead here on this next possession.
I think that's a tough drive. You know, there's a guy in the corner. If maybe he gets past Ricky McGill, it's a wide open three, but then you got to see if he comes in, you got to hit the corner.
Ward Hibbert pulls it back out. Driving baseline, kicks out to Neighbour. Corner three, but we had two players on him, but it doesn't matter. Will Neighbour with the triple.
I think the guy right now is Josh Ward Hibbert. He's kind of getting them going.
Newcastle Eagles now their biggest lead of this game at 11. Could this be the turning point in this game? Momentum well and truly with the Newcastle Eagles right now. Borsier looking to respond with a three. Ill-advised shot off the mark, no good. Newcastle can push once again. McGill looking to drive inside. It's going to be a jump ball. As both players able to grab the ball there. It was great defense from Manchester. Possession arrow points towards the Newcastle Eagles. Here's Johnson. Newcastle just looking to slow things down here in the fourth. They have a healthy lead. Nice pass inside. And Delpesh can't finish.
No, good pass. You know, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I know Malcolm, but you know, if you can get him a bit more earlier shots in the game, he'll finish that, or even dunk those.
William Lee's three was way off the mark on that last possession. I feel that at the moment, Raf, that Manchester might be forcing the issue with the three-pointer as they look to pull their way back into this one.
Yeah, you know, speaking on that last shot, I don't think Malcolm should have shot that, but maybe it's that last possession he missed, and now he's thinking about that last shot and takes an ill-advised shot. The pass inside is probably better to Josh Ward Hibbert. He's been doing well. He's got 17 points right now. And I think, you know, on the same topic we were talking about before, feed a hot hand.
Great defense from Newcastle. It's going to be offensive foul called against Delpesh, though. And again, just called for moving his feet on the screen. Ball will go back to the Manchester Giants.
Yeah, and again, as I was talking about on a mindset standpoint, with Taj Green and getting that foul, I think this Malcolm foul has come from that layup that he missed 2 possessions ago. You know, as a pro, you have to move from possession to possession and make sure you keep your composure.
And as the timeout's called on the floor, I mean, we spoke about Malcolm Delpesh earlier in the game. Of course, he was so effective with this Bristol Flyers team the last 2.5 years or so. And look down the stats at this one, just a single point to his name so far. But all the damage is being done for Newcastle by their backcourt combo. I mean, Jordan Johnson leading the way with 21 points, 6 assists, and Ricky McGill 16 points and 5 assists as well. Really sharing the love. You supplement that with an 11-point game from Taj Green, and your team's cooking right now.
Yeah, let's also not forget Josh Ward-Hibbett. On 8 shots, he has 17 points. I think that's huge. I think that's the difference maker so far. You know, Jamal gave him some easy 3 points in the corner, and he's feeling it. He's making passes when they have to come and help, and he's going to be, you know, the guy for me that's going to get them to win.
I was going to come to that point, Raf, where I'm going to ask you to select your game MVP. I'll wait a little bit longer to ask you the question, but have a little think about it, see who you think on either team as both teams get set to retake the court. Could it be that guy there, Raf, Jordan Johnson? We spoke about how efficient he's been in this game tonight. Really put the team on his back as well.
Yeah, he started with a great first half. You know, he's kind of let his teammates do the rest right now. So, yeah, if it was the end right now, you know how to give it to him. Ooh, what a dunk by William Lee.
William Lee jams it in. Welcome back to the British Basketball League. And could that be the spark that Manchester need to go on a run with just under 7 minutes to go?
I think it all depends on this defensive possession, if they can get a stop.
Going to be an offensive foul.
Okay.
And it wasn't a defensive stop, but they'll take it in the end. Here you see great ball movement, and William Lee, seen him do that time and time again in the British Basketball League. I'm sure that one felt good on his return from injury. Anderson pulls up for a mid-range 2 and drains it. And Manchester slowly chipping away at this Newcastle Eagles lead. This one's not done yet, folks. Ward-Hibbett, no good that time. Another stop for Manchester Giants. Going to be a foul called against Ward-Hibbett. See him just playing a little bit too intensely on the defensive end on Anderson. You mentioned Josh Ward-Hibbett, of course, big performance for him off the bench. 17 points and 4 rebounds so far tonight, and he's been the difference maker for this team so far. Stampley in the corner backing down Delpesh. A tough fadeaway jumper and gets it to go. And Manchester Giants are right back in this one, able to cut the game down to 5.
I think, you know, like you were saying, that dunk was huge for them. Then to get another stop, or, you know.
It's going to be foul called on the floor against Borsier. As you say, Raf, that play by William Lee, it was the spark plug they needed to go on that run. And right now, with, you know, just over 5 minutes to go, got a chance of really pulling it back here.
Yeah, you know, on that last foul, if I'm, you know, guarding Jordan Johnson, I've played enough minutes in the game where I know what he's trying to do. So I got to play, keep my hands out, make sure I move my feet as quickly as possible.
William Lee has had a solid return to action. 9 points, 4 rebounds for him so far in this one. He's also got 3 defensive rebounds even. Here's Johnson. He's stolen away, and
so close.
Unlucky not to run away with that one. As Borsier helped back to his feet by Lee. Shot clock's going to say 9 seconds. As Taj Green's getting set to inbound the ball.
I think the ball's going to Ricky McGill or Jordan Johnson. So if I'm Manchester, I'm going to do my best to try and keep it out of their hands.
They've certainly been the guys with the hot hands in this game so far. Here is McGill, right on cue, kicks out. Ward-Hibbett, open 3, no good that time, but a long rebound falls to Green. Second chance opportunity for Newcastle. Screen from Delpesh. Johnson, it's blocked by Stampley. There's going to be a foul called on Stampley, which will send Johnson to the line for 2.
How many fouls has he drawn?
It's been incredible tonight, Jordan Johnson. He's so slippery and just able to seek that contact as well. That's the 10th foul on him even in this game so far tonight.
I don't think I have 10 fouls drawn on me, you know, for the whole season. So I got to be watching this game, see if I can pick up some tips.
Well, it will send him to the line to add to his 21-point performance so far in this one. When we talk about Jordan Johnson, I mean, he came into the team in the summer, one of the big summer signings in the overhaul of the Newcastle Eagles roster. 19.2 points per game he's averaging this season. And right now, well above that average. Really getting it done for Newcastle as he earns himself a well-deserved break. Seven-point lead for the Newcastle Eagles. Just over 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Lewis. Anderson hands off with Lewis. Looking for Stampley now. Boursier takes the screen from Stampley. Stampley thought about the three. Extra pass to Nick Lewis for three. Ball went in and out. Stolen back by Boursier. Kicks out to Anderson. Anderson thought about it. Lewis thought about it. Now here's Stampley. He'll shoot the triple and knocks it down.
Good pass by Nick Lewis.
It is a 4-point game with under 5 minutes to go. All set for a grandstand finish at the Virtue Motors Arena. Ricky McGill with another triple. You start calling him Ricky McGrill because he's cooking out there, Raf.
Yeah, you know, Ella shot if he misses, but he makes it. So, you know, there's nothing we can say about that.
Big triple for him.
What an answer.
Just as you felt that momentum was shifting in Manchester's favour. And Ricky McGill just answers at the other end. He's now 5 for 6 from downtown in this game.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about having.
Well, 5 minutes to go in the fourth. We're back with you after this short break. Welcome back to the Virtue Motors Arena, where Newcastle Eagles have been able to hold off a spirited Manchester comeback, but they are in foul trouble in this game. Ricky McGill has 4 personal fouls. Taj Green also on 4 personal fouls. And you see Whitfield and Defoe both on 3 apiece as well, so they're going to need to have that ability to defend without fouling if they're going to want to come away with this win down the stretch, Raf.
Yeah, so, you know, Ricky McGill's got 4 fouls, but, you know, my point before the break was, you know, when one guard goes down, as you can see, Jordan Johnson behind him, another one steps up. So Ricky McGill hit an extremely clutch 3. So, you know, hopefully he doesn't go out in the game, but if he does go out, there is a killer on the bench waiting to come back.
Just over 4 minutes to go in this one. Newcastle on top by 6. Here's McGill. Guarded by Borsier. Double team comes. Ball out to Defoe. The shot clock's at 6. Nice pass inside. And a block, but followed by Whitfield puts it in for 2. What a sequence that was. Anderson open for 3. Can't convert that time. The rebound is secured by McGill.
I know, I wanted him to stay aggressive, but I think that's a quick shot. I think, with the flow of the game, the fact that they just got easy 2, you want to get something, to the basket or, something in flow.
Here's Defoe, pulls up for a mid-range 2, and it's going to be a foul called. And now Darius Defoe will go to the line for a chance to make this a double-digit lead with just under 3.5 minutes to go.
I think, Darius Defoe's been teaching Jordan Johnson how to get these fouls because he's been doing this for years.
Yeah, he has been doing it for years. I mean, now in his 20th season in the British Basketball League, Darius Defoe, 27 pieces of silverware, 27 major titles to his name, Raf. That is incredible. I mean, Defoe will go down as one of the greatest players in British Basketball League history when he eventually decides to hang them up one day.
Yeah, 27 is incredible. I don't even feel like I've had the opportunity to win that many. So, respect has to be paid where respect is due. And, he's still doing it. Hopefully, let's make sure I do what I need to do so I can continue to play as long as him, but nowhere near 20 years.
He's still able to get it done as well. He's got the longevity, but still able to make an impact on the games as well. I mean, last season he averaged 9 points and 3 rebounds per game. He's been slotted into the starting lineup the last 3 games, where they're 2-1 in their last 3. And also it helps when you've got a big man that can shoot well from the free throw line. But just as I say that, he goes and misses the second. Curl curse of the commentator there. Here's Borsier. Manchester with it all to do in these final 3 minutes. Nice spin move off the glass and in. And timeout's been called on the floor. Mark Stutel just looks to the table because he wants to eliminate any possibility of Manchester Giants going on a run to end this game.
Yeah, I think that's his Borsier's first 2 points. What a great move. Maybe, get some things going downhill for him. Really challenge Jordan Johnson or Ricky McGill to play defense, especially with Ricky being on 4 fouls, and see if they've got enough time to kind of pull it back.
And I mean, looking at this Manchester Giants team, I mean, they're coming off a few losses in the league. They're struggling to work their way up the league table. It's a close game in this one, but what is it you feel, Raf, about this Manchester Giants team? Why haven't they been able to quite put it together for that full 40 minutes in a game this season?
Like you said, the coach came in, a bit later than everybody else. It's still early in the season. They're trying to figure everything out. William Lee coming back is going to be a huge advantage for them. And, it's just a long season. Maybe they can figure it out. Like I said, I want Jamal to be as aggressive as possible. And if you can get Nick Lewis to be as consistent as I've seen him be, I feel like that would be huge for them.
Yeah, it certainly will be. I mean, that just addition of William Lee alone, certainly you've seen the ability, we've seen glimpses tonight of what he can do, what kind of impact he can make on both ends of the court. And of course, when coming back from injury, surely you'll be on a minute's restriction. You see him there with his warm-up top on, so it certainly looks like that will be him done for this game.
Yeah, I think Legend Robertson, I forgot to mention him a second ago, but he's been huge for them. He started really hot early, and maybe they can find him some more touches inside.
Well, Taj Green does well to knock it off the foot of Jamel Anderson as they retain possession. Under 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, though. Still plenty of time for Manchester to work their way back into this one. Nice pass into Defoe, open lane, off the glass, gets the friendly roll with a layup. And Darius Defoe, second field goal of the game. Borsier looking to force in transition. No foul called. Offensive rebound by Lewis, though. Stampley finds Walsh. Walsh fakes the 3, drives inside. It's going to be a foul call. You see the defense just collapsing in on Evan Walsh, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, that first drive by Bosse, well, this foul, that's definitely a foul. Maybe he can pass the ball out there, try and get something else going, but, you know, he did a good job to draw a foul. But, you know, going back in the possession, Bosse went downhill. I think that shot was a bit wild. Maybe if he can come off 2 feet, you know, go up, finish, or find an extra pass, they'll, you know, be better served.
Evan Walsh unable to convert on the first. Just 6 points so far for him tonight. And Raf, it's getting to that point now where you're going to have to think about who you want to select as your player of the game. I will ask you in a bit later on, but if you're watching on YouTube, do leave a comment in the comments section. Let us know who you think should be player of the game in this one. McGill able to draw the foul, and Manchester Giants now are going to be, it's going to send Ricky McGill to the line even, because both teams now in the bonus for the rest of this game. And Ricky McGill, what an incredible game he's had here tonight. 19 points, 5 assists in this game. He's really had it done on both ends of the court as well, Raf, and especially, you mentioned without Larry Austin Jr., it just adds extra, more shots, more minutes for McGill, and he's really stepped up in Austin's absence.
Yeah, you never want to see a play go down, but they have been able to benefit by, being able to, less people have to share the ball between. But I think, Larry Austin coming back and, fitting himself back into a, what's this, a 2-game winning streak if they get this one. I feel like it would be, just amazing for them.
Of course, they won that midweek game in the European North Basketball League, and of course, Coach Mark Stoutel looking to carry over his side's momentum in Europe into the British Basketball League, where they haven't had as much fortune. But it'll be a big win for them if they can hold on to this one, as Boursier fires up the triple. Off the mark, no good. It's going to be a jump ball, as Nick Lewis does well to chase it down. And it's going to go to the possession arrow, which points towards the Giants.
Yeah, I think that shot a bit too quick. Maybe if you got it going, you've hit a couple before that, and you're feeling it, maybe that's the right shot to take. But at this point in time, you need good possessions, and they were fortunate enough to get it back. But I would like to see them, get better shots in the offense.
Anderson up against Green. Here's Lewis, step back 3, tough shot, but gets it a drop. And could there be life yet in this Manchester side?
I think they need to get some stops, Joe. If they can get that done, maybe it'll be an exciting finish.
Giants need a stop here on this possession. Ward Hibbert driving to the basket, puts it up, and puts it in, and the foul. And Josh Ward Hibbert will go to the line for a bonus. And Raf, you just said there on that last possession that Giants need a stop, and right when it mattered most, Ward Hibbert able to put it in for 2 and going to the line. A chance for him to get his tally up to 20 if he can knock down this foul shot.
Yeah, I think he's been a difference maker. Eventually we got to figure out who the leading guy was for this team, and I feel like he's gonna sneak up behind and take it at the end.
20 points now for Ward Hibbert. It's stolen away by Ward Hibbert, right on cue. Hail Mary pass. McGill, look up to Green, who jams it in.
Oh.
Showtime in Newcastle. Taj Green throws it down.
I think Taj liked that as much as we did.
The fans certainly enjoyed that one at the Virtue Motors Arena. Boursier for 3, looking to respond, and another rebound by Newcastle. Oh, it comes off the foot and almost into the hands of Walsh, but now here comes Newcastle the other way. It's an ill-advised pass from Johnson in the end. But Showtime Eagles up at the Virtue Motors Arena. It was a Hail Mary pass, and McGill just put it on a plate. Just throw it up there and go get it, big fella.
Yes, we haven't talked a lot about Stanley, but he's in the highlight of the day.
And Raf, this is going to be a huge win for Newcastle Eagles if they can hold on to this one. And Raf, it's time for you to pick your... Well, almost time for you to pick your next player of the game, even. Here is McGill. It's going to be a foul called on Evan Walsh. And Raf, now it is time for you to pick your player of the game. Who are you picking for this one?
I'm going to pick Jordan Johnson. It was close between Josh Ward-Hibbett, but, you know, I've got to give it to the guy. He started super strong. 7 assists, 5 rebounds. You know, foul trouble kind of kept him, you know, on the bench from parts, but he got it done tonight.
Certainly has, as Ricky McGill going to put the icing on the cake for Newcastle Eagles. And this will be a big win for Newcastle, of course. You know, they've had trouble in the league so far this season. They've had some great success in the European stage in the ENBL, and now they'll be looking to carry that over into the rest of their British Basketball League campaign, looking to work their way up the table. Lewis looking to force a deep three. They will stay with Manchester, though.
Yeah, speaking on the ENBL stuff, they got 2 good wins. You know, hopefully we'll get to see them at the end, so we're going to have to do as best a job we can as a flyer. And, you know, I'm happy for them to get this win today. There's still a minute left and anything can happen, but I feel like I'm confident that they're going to put it out.
A bit of back and forth there between Lewis and Johnson. Lewis's shot is off. Here comes Johnson the other way. Nice pass to Defoe, extra pass to Green, and it's going to be a foul called. And Taj Green will go to the foul line. And Raf, I mean, the last sort of few minutes or so, we've seen Newcastle Eagles really pushing out in transition. They had that alley-oop with Green, and that time able to draw a foul. And you feel with the talent they've got on their roster, that's when they can be at their best this season. Yeah,
I think this right now, you know, Manchester are taking quick shots, trying to pull back the deficit, and it's kind of leading to some fast break points for Newcastle. So yeah, they have to do better, but I think, you know, a lot of it has come from Manchester's quick shots.
Now Green able to knock down the first. Second one is good for him as well, and now up to 15 points for Green to go along with 6 rebounds. Walsh, tip pass to Anderson. 3-pointer is no good. And you feel that this one is all but done here as Nick Lewis gets called for the foul. Again, that will send Newcastle Eagles to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I had Nick Lewis at the beginning of the game. He, you know, kind of struggled in parts, but I still feel like he has the potential to kind of help Manchester for the rest of the season.
And if you're looking at this Manchester Giants team, I mean, they were right there, sort of 3/4 of the way through this game. It's just that last 10 minutes, just unable to get over the line, and that's kind of been the story of their season so far, Ralph. They've just been unable to put together that full 40-minute performance as a team.
Yeah, like you said, the game is 40 minutes. I think the coach has to go back to the drawing board, see what plays he can kind of draw up when they kind of get a bit sticky on offense. And, you know, I feel like they have the players to get it done. So, you know, I'm not counting them out for the season.
Well, Nick Lewis fouls out on that last possession, so he will play no further part in this one. 16 points and 2 assists for him in this game tonight.
Yeah, like I said, Nick Lewis has been in the league for a while. I know he you know, he's been playing basketball very hard, but he has some other things that he does off the court. I know recently speaking to him, he started a club called the Dream Chasers, and just stuff like that is just great for British basketball. So, you know, I hope the best for him, and I hope he's successful for the rest of the season.
Evan Walsh able to get the go and the foul at the other end. He will go to the line for a bonus, but you feel it's just a little bit too little, too late for this Manchester team. And Newcastle with a healthy lead in this game. And you look at the Manchester Giants, you look at their recent results as well. I mean, they played Cheshire and that game went over and well over into the 100-point margin. I mean, it's on the defensive end, isn't it, for this Manchester Giants? They've got all the talent on offense. It's just the defensive end they really need to step up their game.
Yeah, it's tough for them today. If you give a player 10 free throws, it's going to be a struggle, especially the way they shot the free throw. So I think they were, what was this, 22 from 29 from the free throw line, Newcastle. So if you give them 30, 3 points, it's going to be a struggle, even if you're playing the best one-on-one defense.
The ball trickles out of play. The shot clock is now turned off. And Manchester Giants can look to get one final shot up here. The fans on their feet now at the Virtue Motors Arena. Here's Walsh looking to drive inside. Off the back iron, no good. Ward Hibbert with the rebound. Just needs to dribble it over half court. And that will do it. Newcastle Eagles bounce back from defeat against the Leicester Riders with a 12-point win over the Manchester Giants. And it was an incredible performance in the end, Raf. I mean, it was right there in the third quarter up for the taking, and they were able to outscore the Giants 25-18 in that fourth and final quarter. And particularly on the defensive end from Manchester's point of view, allowing 97 points at the other end.
Yeah, so I was kind of talking about it at the beginning. Yeah, Jordan Johnson's going to get his 20, 19. You can, play with that. It's going to be tough for him to take that away, sorry. But then when you get Ricky McGill with 21, you get Tyler Green with 15, you got Joshua Hibbert with 20, that's not something you can win. That's not a game you can win. So, the bench points, a lot of it came from Joshua Hibbert, and the spread isn't, past the 4 players, but I think those are the 4 guys that got it done today.
Yeah, you say 4 players finishing in double figures for Mark Stutel's side, and that's where the game was won and lost here tonight. Jordan Johnson, a word on him, tonight's game MVP, 23 points, 7 assists, and as you say, 10 trips to the free throw line as well, and he really has that ability. You talk about him being that undersized guard, but his ability to get to the free throw line is like no other player in the league.
Yeah, I believe he's leading the league in free throws. So if he can continue to do that, he's going to get 10 easy points or 12 easy points, or however many he needs to get. And it's going to be a tough cover.
Well, let's take a look at the key stats from tonight's game, Raf. And when you look down at the stat sheet there, free throws really stand out. Newcastle Eagles with over 11 more free throws made than the Manchester Giants tonight.
Yeah, all the other stats, assists, rebounds. Well, rebounds, there was a huge 15-point difference from Newcastle Eagles, but I really feel like the free throws were the ones that kind of sealed the deal for them today. Yeah,
big win for the Newcastle Eagles tonight. They win by 12 against the Manchester Giants. And Raf, just final thoughts on this game here tonight. What do you think a result for this, like this, does for Newcastle Eagles? Of course, they struggled in league play tonight. I imagine it must do wonders for their confidence going forward.
Yeah, they've had a tough schedule. They've played London, they've played Bristol. So I think getting wins like this, especially with them being so close in the standings, it can only set them on the right direction. I think there's a lot of things they need to talk about to make sure this is a consistent thing. But, I'm confident that they can get it done.
Well, a big result for Mark Stutel's side. They come out on top over the Manchester Giants, but still plenty of action going on this weekend up and down the country. Of course, there's a big game going on right now, live on Sky Sports. And as you say, the latest there, London Lions with a narrow lead over the Leicester Riders. Make sure you can flip over to that one right now and catch the ending over on Sky Sports and on YouTube. Couple of games on Saturday night as Surrey take on your Bristol Flyers, Raf. Caledonia Gladiators take on the Sheffield Sharks. And then to round out the weekend, Plymouth City Patriots host the Newcastle Eagles, and Cheshire take on the Leicester Riders. Quick reminder, you can watch all those games live and on demand via the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Let's take a look at what tonight's win does to the league table in the British Basketball League. And as you say, a big result for the Newcastle Eagles, now improving to 3-7 on the table, 4-7 even on the league table. That graphic is incorrect, as you say. And Raf, it was a big performance that got him over the line, particularly in that fourth quarter. Raf, just a quick word on the final words for you on this game. Newcastle Eagles picking up the win. What did you make of tonight's performance?
Yeah, very characteristic of Newcastle, getting Jordan Johnson and Ricky McGill going. I think if they can figure out a way to kind of, insert Taj Green into the mix, they'll be, amazing for the rest of the season. It's going to be tough for them. Sometimes teams are going to take away Ricky and they're going to take away Jordan Johnson as best they can. So it's about getting the other guys going.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Raf. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage right here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe to catch every game in the British Basketball League this season. But for Raphael Thomas Edwards, I'm Joel Osborne saying so long, and we'll see you next time.